So in March of 2006, my husband went with a couple of his friends to go dirt bike riding, just recreational on some trails. I had sent the children off to school and was just sort of taking care of the house, and I got a phone call that Jon had been involved in an accident and that he couldn't feel from his shoulders down. So I met him at the hospital where he was flown in by a helicopter, and it's like what you see in the movies. 20 people come out of the hospital and switch him onto a gurney and take him in, and basically they told him he was Superman and that he had broken his neck and he wouldn't be able to walk, and that we needed to prepare our lives and our home for having someone who lives in a wheelchair. It changed our family drastically, but day by day we went through those changes and we adjusted our lives so that he could be here with us and we could continue on living as a family. Being that Jon is paralyzed basically from the chest down, he doesn't have movement, and so he's literally made this game with these two pinkies, and it's very time consuming to program. You're using just numbers and letters is what creates a game, and so you're typing in letters and numbers using your pinky, and that didn't stop him. It just made him work harder and stronger, and it took longer, but to have a finished product is pretty thrilling to see as a wife, to see him accomplish this goal and to see what it's done so far.
Before my accident, I spent the past 10 years in the gaming industry, working for some high-profile companies, typically on video games. Really enjoyed the industry, great creative outlet, and was able to use my skills. So I met my wife and married Christina in 1995, and together we've had 4 beautiful daughters, and they are really the light of my life. I enjoy being around them and working hard for them. In March of 2006, I went on a recreational dirt bike trail riding fun time, if you will, excursion with some good friends of mine. And it was really just a freak accident. I wasn't doing more than maybe 10 miles an hour. I was just coming down a hill and my back tire hit a rock I didn't see. It flipped the bike forward and I simply hyperflexed my neck. Shattered my C5, and my life changed quite a bit, pretty dramatically. Everything from my collarbones down doesn't function. I do have some biceps, or I can curl my arms a little bit. My shoulders are almost online, but I have no finger movement, no wrist movement, and I can't extend my arms. I can't like throw a ball. And then if I didn't hook onto my chair, I would just fall over. It's like I'm sitting on a big water balloon is kind of how I feel most of the times. I mean, there are good things and bad things that came about because of the accident. One of the good things is frankly, I've always been looking for ways to be at home more often with my girls, and even though I'm probably there a little more than they would like me to be, it's great to be home, to be able to be a father to my kids, to be there and talk to them when they need me and see them more often. After my accident, obviously during that time I couldn't work in the industry, and although I hoped maybe I could return, there was really no way with my limited motor capabilities. So that was kind of the end of my official gaming industry career, if you will. But I always kind of hoped that I could find my way back. Came across a gaming engine that I worked with for a little while and became really excited about it. After working with it a little bit, becoming a little bit more familiar with it, even with kind of my limitations, I thought, I could probably do something simple with this. So how I work with the computer, the best thing that works for me is I use the touchpad as a mouse. So I use that for, frankly, all my most of the clean art that I do, and to move to get around the computer is my mouse. As far as the coding goes, the programming, I've got my right pinky knuckle, and that's how I type. It's one key at a time. And a little laborious, but I've actually gotten fairly quick at it. So I organized the company with my wife, Christina, And obviously it's in-house and very few people involved. I am essentially the sole creative director, programmer of the company. But the company is called Venabyte, and our goal is just to create wholesome entertainment for families, and plan to do that in the future as much as possible. It's been a great opportunity to kind of get back into my passion, what I love to do. The game we have currently developed is called Blizzwords. It's a word hunt game, a word search game, and we've developed it currently for Apple products, iPad and iPhone. We're also excited about releasing it on Android platforms as soon as possible. So in simple terms, it really is kind of Boggle and Tetris put together. It's been so fantastic to have kind of a testing group indoors, if you will. With my 4 daughters, they love playing the game. The ones who really enjoy it are my younger ones, but they all give me feedback and tell me what does work, what doesn't work, what's boring and what's not. And so that's been fantastic as well to kind of have that in-house.
It's been fun to see him involved in the release of Blizz, his first game with his company that he's created. I've seen him work long hours again like he did before in the industry, and he enjoys those long hours, and he enjoys waking up knowing that it's another full day of working on this game, Blizzwords.
It has been so fantastic to finally be part of a launch again and develop a game that is out to entertain and that people can enjoy. We released it just this week, and it's been so fantastic to hear the feedback. It's been received very well so far, and you know, it kind of gives you a good feeling to be part of that. I guess one of the messages I'd like to relay, something that's personal and dear to me, is just the fact that I don't really consider myself disabled in any way. I've never considered my motor capabilities as my number one asset. I've always believed my number one asset is up here in my mind and my creativity. And that's kind of a message I'd really like to share, is you have absolutely no limitations except those that you create for yourself.